Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Waldo2413. How's everyone doing tonight? Hey Gus, how's it going? And I got some light on me. Hey Jesse, hey Tempted Tees, hey Poor Man Printing. How did the chicken cross the road, Poor Man? I don't know either. So you get back into printing, Poor Man, or what's your outlook? Hey Jimmy, how's it going? Yeah, Gus, that's what I was wondering too. If Poor Man was going to get back in and what he's doing. Hey Ramon, what's up? I mean, the one thing, Poor Man, you've got it paid for, so it's pretty much, it's as long as it's not taking up too much garage space, you got all that stuff already paid for. So I mean, you can do things here and there, and kind of now you have it already there, so it ain't like you're out money or anything. You can still make some money in between. Hey Ramon, what I'll do is I'll send you a link to some other stuff, Ramon, on like the printer and all that stuff. Uh, like I said, I've tried them all, Ramon. All the different printing method or the mailing things. What I normally do is like I use the Rolo printer, just because they're cheaper than the Dynamo, and I buy like a case of the 4x6 thermal paper just because the price of it. Yeah, the other thing, Poor Man, now that you got everyone out of the house, you got to do something. So can't sit around or you end up big like me. Hey, what's up, Blue Fire? Juan should be on here. Juan messaged me earlier, and then now I'm just waiting for him to hop on. Either that or he was waiting to get online. And what brand press would I recommend for a newbie? Um, Stay away from the blue China presses. Poor Man had a video on it, and he'll tell you they are horrible. They won't hold registration. They won't hold anything. They are just nothing but the worst. What I would maybe recommend a Vastex. They're pretty nice. Rylanet has a nice starter press. M&R, they have some. Best bang for buck might be a Vaztec or maybe a Rylanet. Drawing a blank on some of the pricing right now and some of the other ones, but them are the ones that I would probably go with. You might have to save up a little bit more money, but the print quality and holding the registration will be way better. Like if you're going to do something, like I got a video coming up, so I'm screen printing this for some people. And if you're like, and this is just going to be one colored, you could maybe get away with the one color with them blue presses, but a lot of times they don't re-register even after like printing and flashing it. So if you're only doing maybe one color and that's all you were going to do, and that's the only money you had, maybe I would do that. But yeah, Ranar, yeah, that was another one. Ranar has some good starter ones too. But if you were going to, yeah, so like you said, you'd rather spend a little bit more money. Most people would. I mean, there's a lot of people that get in the industry that literally will buy something to begin with. Like I said, poor man's on here. He can tell you he bought one and literally then he had to turn around and buy another press. So sometimes when you buy one because you're saving money, you really didn't save because now you had to rebuy. And then he ruined one or two shirts, to say the least, doing that, burning the screens, trying to get to register. So it's a big difference on that part. And so I would personally spend a little extra money. The other thing you could do also, you can actually, like, for instance, poor man, if he gets out, he was selling his. You can also look at like your, what is that place called? It's online and Craigslist. Look at Craigslist, look at the Facebook pages, places like that. Because there's a lot of shops that shut down during this, and there's people that had some nice presses that are just selling them. What's up, William? Like poor man said too, if you get something with the micro, it's like Rye did a video on where he was using his micros the other day, and you might not need them right away, but micros are a huge thing when you get into doing multiple colors and lots of registrations on that stuff. So I would probably go with something like that if you can afford it. It's usually not that much more to get something with micros, but micros are way more forgiving, helps out a bunch. And it just makes it so much better to set something up. Because if you don't, you're going to have to, and this for Gus, where he was having the issues with the screens. What would happen is when you undo all four of your screws or the hold down clamps, or just one, you're going to try to have to pivot it enough to get it lined up and then reclamp it. When you have the micros, you can put that screen in like sideways, or not this far side, but you can have it off centered like this at a slight angle. And then you can use the micros to push the sides up because it's going to pivot like this on the side, and then you get a left to right. So you can be off a little bit, and the micros can bring it back in. Micros are a great thing. So I would look for something with micros and something that's going to hold good quality on it. Bobby McGee. I've heard the song, but I don't know the person, Greg. Sorry. The good thing too, Tempted Tees and Graphics, there's a lot of people that will be on here in and out. Like Juan's a good person to listen to. Poor man went through it all. There's a lot of people, NovaWorks. There's a lot of them that have shops that's been printing for a while, and that will give you really good advice. Hey, JBM, thank you. Looking backwards on the screen, sorry, but there's a lot of people that are on here. And there's a lot that will help you out on here that can tell you or point you in the right direction, because between almost all the people on here, they've all tried pretty much a lot of the stuff that's out there. And so they can give you a really good advice on what works and what doesn't work for them. But usually most people will tell you the blue presses, don't buy them, they're junk. People's telling you they're getting. Oh, okay, Mike. Thanks for telling me, because when I'm looking at my screen, I'm seeing it backwards. So I guess it's something in my settings, but I see everything backwards. That's why I wore a different hat with no logos, because it bugs me seeing the things backwards. Hey, Juan, good to see you on here also. Rye keeps saying, when are you going to get his computer fixed? Yeah, poor man. Like, you're right. When you tighten them clamps up on them, the cheap ones, like, because just how much play they got in that things, literally, you're going to tighten it and it's going to shift. I mean, they're nothing but junk. I mean, honestly, but there are people that push them. I'd never push it off the cliff or something like that, but they're not really worth it. They're kind of horrible presses, in my opinion, but if that's all you had and that's all you were ever going to learn with, I mean, I would, even on that, I'd say if that's all the budget was for, I might sub stuff out so you raise enough money to get something else. In Overworks, did you see the big thing? Newegg's got a new way to get video cards on there. So you got to register. It's like a raffle, so it stops people with bots from getting a lot of the good stuff. And they do it. You've got to register between a set hours, and then what happens if you win? You've got, I think it's like 4 hours to go on there and pay for the product for them to ship it to you. But they started doing it earlier this week, and it's made a big difference. I mean, I've already got all my stuff, but I bought some more stuff just because you're getting it pretty much at the normal cost instead of paying overpriced on stuff. Some of the cards are about $80 more than they normally would be, but it's still cheaper than all the people on like eBay and all that stuff. You're getting it not much above retail cost. Yeah, poor man. There's been a few people on videos, and that's why I did some of them other videos. Them people were saying that they were printing like registration stuff on them, and they're decent for a starter press. Um, that's why I did that one video. Sorry if I'm echoing. I don't know. Let me see if there's anything I can set up on here to stop that. Okay, thanks, Mike. Thanks, poor man. If you guys want to see some really good videos with a lot of funny puns and jokes in it, check out Poor Man Screen Printing or Poor Man Printing. Some of his stuff he's had to take down because audio clips and all that stuff, but his stuff is really good to watch, and he's got a lot of jokes. He used to have a nice fast Mustang too, so I think he might be getting another one too, though. So what's everyone working on this weekend? Is anyone working on anything or just taking it easy, or who's everyone got for the Super Bowl? You think Brady's going to pull the seventh one off? What kind of stuff are you supplementing, Juan? I'm like you, Ramona. I'm Lions fan, so tomorrow's just another day for my team. So yeah, Blue Fire. You like Sublimation socks. Another thing you can do. I don't know where you're getting your socks from, but you can literally go to that video on. You can go to Walmart and buy And1 socks, and they're cheaper than silky socks, and they supplement perfect because I think they're 98% polyester. They're a comfortable sock. They work great. They have the no-show socks and all that too. So it's something that if you're like you might be using them socks anyways, Blue, but that's another sock to go check out because they work really good and they're good price too. I mean, you can't beat them. Yeah, free price. You can actually sub onto the vinyl. You just got to be careful with your temps and all that stuff. And then a lot of times, depending, you can do it where it goes through. So you using a reverse print. Um, I've done a bunch with it. It just works really good. Thanks, poor man. Wow, thank you so much for that super chat. Yeah, poor man. You can make a press better than you can actually by buying the blue one, especially a one color press. You just got to buy the right stuff. I mean, that's honestly what a lot of people do instead of buying that blue press. The only thing I'll say about your Mustang selection, Fox bodies are some of the fastest ones in the quarter. I've never liked that body style for some reason. But for quarter racing and all that, that's literally the weight of them bodies and the weight of that vehicle is the way to go. I loved your video where you let your daughter drive the other one, where she got into them turbos a little bit. Hey, Gina, how's it going? Hey, Rye. I haven't picked on you yet, Rye. I mean, maybe in a little bit. Yeah, sorry about the lighting. It's if I don't, then it's all darked out over here. So I've got to figure something with the lighting. So right now I got these weird eyes. So if I don't have them, I can't see the screen to read what people are saying. Thanks a lot, Foreman. That means a lot. So I see a lot of the stuff your wife keeps posting too on Facebook for her. She's staying right up with all that stuff, doing all the different things, her tumblers and then her shirts and all that stuff. And I think she outprinted you this year as far as numbers. What's up, Leonardo? Someone said I'm light enough that I don't need the lights, so we'll try it with the lights. How's that work? Because now it looks like I've got Rye's eyes. I've got the see, Sarah. There I go picking on Rye, but see, I see the. So is it better with the lights on or the lights off? Which one do you guys think? Lights on or? Well, I might have missed the contact thing. There you go, Ramon. Now I got the quarter lifesaver eyes, or the cartoon eyes. So yeah, it's the downside about lighting is if you wear glasses, there's no easy way around it. Because like I said, if I go without them, for one, I got huge bags because my eyes, and I can't see the screen, so I gotta squint to look even worse. So I fall back into the rye style. So I guess I'll go with that and see if I can maybe angle the light up a little higher or something. But I think no matter what I do, that light's still gonna affect it either way. I don't think I got a good way around it. But I was gonna say to you guys, I don't know if I'll come close to it or not. Um, but looking at the numbers and the progression that I was moving up towards, um, if Darren, I can be orange, change the color of my skin, I guess. But if I hit 2,000 by the end of this month, I will give a plotter out. Yeah, I've seen that, Mike. The problem is with me is like I wear glasses, so glasses are going to reflect. And like I said, I have the neon light back there too. It's not turned on, but if I turn that on, then I have a huge halo. And then if I go turn it where the camera's up higher here, so see it. Put a bag over my head, George. I guess I could do something like that. I could also use static now. How's that? Is hopefully that took care of it and it stopped everything out. I guess I'll just live with the eyes like that. I guess it's fine. Someone said when I brought up when I said the plotter. So yeah, I will like US cutter. I'll give a US cutter plotter out if we hit that by the end of this month. So if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. Um, you got other accounts, subscribe under them accounts. They'll get the numbers up. Uh, and we'll go from there. Hopefully we'll hit them. Yeah, I know it was Eugene. I was just sitting there talking about puts one. I guess I'd rather have the double eye instead of the single eye. We'll just leave it like that, and we'll go with it from there. Yeah, George, no matter what the plotter's going to cost me, none of these people give me anything free. So literally, I'm just going to be shelling out my money to buy it, just like all the other stuff I give out. I like your comment, Rye. Talking about him. Is Juan going to quit because I was talking about him? I mean, that's a real plotter, right? It's just kind of like an easy bake oven for kids too. I mean, it's for you. That's a full size system. I mean, so I mean, hey, if it works. It works. I would stick with it. I mean, it's not going to be like a servo drive or anything. It's just going to be a normal. It's just one of their normal ones. It'll have their software and all that, so you can actually cut normal width vinyl. You don't have to cut just 12 by 12 sheets with it. So I mean, you got to think of it this way, Juan. You can make some awesome brownies on an easy bake oven. So, and you can still get burnt with an easy bake oven. I think I'm going to buy one to try to cure tumblers with in the next video, maybe. Yeah, they got them new safety LED ones, so I'm not really not sure what they're going to do. Good talking to you again tonight, Ramon, and I'll get you some more information on that other stuff, Ramon. Might do a quick video. It might be easier that way to show you all the stuff that I use to print the software. Like I said, the other thing too with it, when you use them 4x8 pieces, they're sitting on the big roll thing right here. But you can actually get them in different sizes. So you can put like besides putting it on there, the thermal paper. So you can buy colored thermal paper, which is always going to make the image in black, but you can print them and maybe do like quick little stickers to put outside the box, just quick, because the stuff's super cheap. You do have that oven though, Ryan, that you can sublimate in. I mean, I know some shops that sell blanks if you need any information. Yeah, I have a lot of ink. I have more ink than I'll probably ever use in my lifetime. I still buy more. A lot of times it's easier instead of me going through all my ink, I just end up buying new ink. Yeah, I think one it was called around the. It wasn't called hoarding, but I guess it did fit into that. It showed the other building out there where I had all them shirts and then the video after that, I snapped my Achilles. If you remember in the video, it was about an 18-second video. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think Juan's passed me on the hoarding. The only thing I got in this room, which is kind of hard to move the computer because I've got shelving of boxings, the shipping stuff, loads and loads, and I use a lot of free stuff because I'm cheap. So I'm going to use the U.S. Postal Service where they give you the free boxes. And then the other boxes are literally, I'm sure if you've seen anything or got anything from me, you might even get any kind of box, because what I'm going to end up doing is getting a box from any place that will give me free boxes. So you might get one from one of my other works. You might get one, a pizza box. You might get a video card box. You might get a Newegg box or something like that, because I use all the free stuff. So what's up, G6? How's it going? Yeah, like the sawgrass works fine, Gina. My gripe with sawgrass is the price of the ink. Um, you do have to, just like G6 said. I mean, if you go with the Epson and all that, or any other kind of printer, you got to know some of the ICC profiles and all that. But once you get a lot of that down or dialed in, the ink savings is, to me, is a big difference depending on how much you're doing. Like if you're only doing like a few things, it's not worth it to save the money if you're only doing like let's say you're printing 10 things a month or whatever. If you're printing a lot though, and you're wanting to save quite a bit of money, um, I like going with an Epson printer. Good talking to you, poor man. Thanks again. Thanks for the super chat, poor man. Great having you on here for a little bit. But like, yeah, you get 400 prints per set. The only thing is like when you have to rebuy it over time, that adds up pretty quick. At least stuff that I do. I mean, that's why I got big printers too, and I've got ink by the bag instead of by the small amount. Like I said, I mean, there's that printer does great. The another nice thing with it, it's got its own software with it. So, like for people that are new to the industry or whatever, don't have not SolidWorks. Sorry, another program I use, but people that don't have like Photoshop and all that, it makes it nice because you've got a lot of the templates pre-built in there. But like for someone like me, I already have templates made for a lot of stuff, so I'm working in there anyways. And so I just would rather go that way. And like I said, the volume I go through, I would have to upcharge a lot higher on some of the items just because how much we end up printing. And like I said, and then we've got stuff we've done all over print. So like I mean, which Sawgrass don't make a printer that big, but it would go through quite a bit of ink to do an all over print. Or if I even paneled it with the Sawgrass, I think it probably overpriced for what I'd have to sell the shirt for. So that's why I go with the ink I do or the Epson. But I mean that's like that the Sawgrass isn't made to do all over prints either. So I mean it's kind of one of the things, buy what you need. But like some people too, like I look at what my needs are, and then I look and see what I might do after that. That's why I went with the ones I did, like the 570 and then the larger format printers. Um, I might not do a bunch of it, but I always look at it like if I ever want to get into that and I'm going to already spend the money, then I want to make sure that it's there. Because like the thing with the Sawgrass too, the one is almost as much as the 570. And so if you want at least a 13 by 19, but then for the 24-inch wide, you're paying a few $100 more, but then you've got a 24-inch wide. Roll paper is a lot cheaper, and you can get like the Epson. You don't even got to go with the Epson brand, but there's a lot of other companies in the roll paper sides. Like if you want to go with the Beaver paper, make the Beaver paper and a roll paper. And roll paper pricing is way cheaper. And you could buy the roll paper and cut it down, but the time that it's going to take to cut it down, unless you use like if you got a graph tech, you could have it run and do auto cuts. There's things you could do, but in general, like to cut your paper, it's not worth cutting paper either. You're better off just buying the paper the size you need when it comes to that, or using roll if you can get roll to work. And where Sawgrass doesn't do roll paper, it's the paper. It's not expensive. I mean, I print normal paper on a lot of the stuff. I use sublimation paper on the other stuff. the cost of roll paper compared to sublimation paper is like night and day. Like roll paper is almost the same price as, like Juan said, it's $70 for 24-inch, 300 feet. So when you cut that, if you were to cut that down, you're looking at like paper that's cheap as, you're looking at paper that's the same price as normal paper, like copy paper. So like a nice heavyweight copy paper is going to be the same price if you cut that 24 by 300 down into normal sheets of paper. Hey, Rye, can you close your eyes and drive too? I see that you're driving and listening, so. So your sawgrass is staring at you, Rye? I didn't know you had a sawgrass. See, Rye, if you had a Tesla, you could. You can like take hands off a Tesla, your feet off. You can do pretty much everything in the Tesla, and it will still drive and switch lanes and navigate your home. So, yeah, Mike Rye's still here. He hadn't fallen asleep yet. So, I never knew you had a sublimation printer, Rye. It's in my passenger seat. My cousin wants it. Is your cousin Juan? Is that who wants it? No. Well, that's good to hear, G6. I'm going to try to make it out. As long as I don't have more death threats and from some of the other people that didn't like the comments from the other videos, but I'm not worried about it. I mean, Ryan Juan might not want to be near me, but I'm fine. I'm not worried. No one's going to take me out. Yeah, 7 cents per sheet per roll. I mean, that's a lot cheaper because, like, even if you bought even if you bought normal sublimation paper, you're at it, I think, almost a quarter a sheet, depending what brand you buy. Yeah, Gina, it wouldn't really be a fight. I mean, because it'd be like the two midgets wrestling, and I'd be the ref, and one would be drop kicking my knees, and the other one might jump off my shoulders onto the other one. So, yeah, like Juan said, he's not getting near me. He's kind of worried. They might miss me and hit him. So, hey, but if it helps you, Juan, I'm a big target, so I can block a lot. So, Juan's part of the printing cartel. Hey, Linda, how's it going? Yeah, Linda, I had a lot of emails and stuff from them live videos I did with the other people and some people that just weren't really happy with comments. So it is what it is. I'm not worried. It was called a bunch of things. So, oh well. Yeah, some people got to get offended real easy when you tell a lot of the stuff. Like Rye's cool with it, but some of these other people like took offense. Like Ray is perfect example. Ray is most genuine person in the world. If you read his comment, he actually agreed with everything I said. And so, I mean, he's one of the biggest ones on here that did all the stuff like that. And still, Reyes came out and he was like, "Hey, this is what I did do that." And he's like, very respectful person. You can read his comment; it's on the thing. Never removed it. It's on the shameless plug. Go watch the other video, "The Truth About the Industry." But if you watch that, Reyes' comments on there and if you read the description below, but He's a really good guy, genuine, down to earth. There's some of these other ones that get offended because some of their money got hurt because they're not getting as many sales now. And yeah, Linda, like you read it. I mean, Ray is very respectful. I've talked to him a few times on other things, and it's like we're Rye wasn't offended too much either on some of his comments, but Rye threatened to take my kneecaps out, though that was about it. But yeah, like I said, it wasn't to go after. It's just showing some people that what's out there and the truth. I mean, like I said, I don't make money off any of the other stuff. Now, Rye, you didn't really get offended. We just joked with you, Rye, but thanks, Gus. Thanks a lot, Gus. I actually had coffee earlier, but I do have other things to drink, Gus. So I got to rep my. Tonight I'm sponsored by the Michigan bottling company, Fago. This is Fago root beer. So thanks again for the shameless plug. And then I'd also like to sponsor Court, the best rehab. 2 Achilles tendons later, and this is all I got was a water bottle that I didn't print. So yeah, Rye. The part Rye got offended by the part I called him Rye, but yeah, Gene. I mean, he might be, but like I said, I mean, like I've never had any issues with him. I mean, he's never said anything to me. Like I said, even after my video, I mean, I wasn't necessarily going after him. I was pointing some of the things that he's done, and he came out and never had any problems with it. And so, I mean, I give him a lot of respect. Like I said, I haven't seen him say anything else. So it's like the other one I was on the live with. He did a video after, pulled all the other stuff, and said things, and so where I can't jump that. I'm not that tall either, though. So yeah, well, I did go over some of the people's heads. I mean, it was just kind of, hey Gus, I'll do that. I actually have a video on the micros, Gus. It's one of my older videos. I explain how the micros work and how to adjust them all. I'll do another video though. Oh, Ryan needs to do a video. My bad. Sorry about that, Gus. Ryan, that's all you. It was for you, Ryan, not for me. But Juan, if you want to do a video too before Rye does, I would probably do it tonight. Yeah, Gus, that's my hunting skills. Like I can stand still and it looks like I'm froze. So it's the only other thing I can really do. you, you are right, Rye, but in the springtime, the leaves are in the fall. Well, in the summertime, there I'll get my seasons right. In the summertime, Rye, there's no leaves on there. Off or the wind blows them off once a year. So, but yeah, right now there's leaves. There's probably branches on there. There's everything but what needs to be on there. So the nice thing about Rye doing the micros, though, he's not going to be blocking the camera because the camera will be on top. So, like, he's down here below the top of the pallet. So, like, he's standing at the side. And you just see his hand turning it. So, it's a better view, Rye. That's why I think you need to make the video besides me. So, yeah, like Juan just said the same thing because Rye's short. It works better. Like, when you have some of my size, I tend to block everything. And Yeah, good night, Gina. Good to have you on here. I'm going to hear from you. And I got your comments. Thanks. The thing you got to watch out too, though, Gus, is like in his upcoming videos, he's got a stool being built. So the upcoming videos, he might be tall enough to actually reach the top or kind of see the top of the stuff. So it could work really good for him. Another thing, Ryan, that I didn't get to say the other day on the phone where I talked forever is on the shop. Another like another thing to look at, if you can find a shop that you can buy and you got it in your budget, then you're better, because if you want to get out of it, you can sell the shop or lease it out and rent it. But the other thing too, some people are more productive when they go to a workplace instead of working at home. I'm not picking on you tonight, Rod. You're the first one I seen. So, no. But the other thing too is like some people at home, they're not as productive. They don't get as much stuff done. Other people, if you go into like another business or leave your house to go do the work, and you set an allotted time that you're going to be there, more people are more productive when they do leave their house to work than if they do from working from home, because they get sidetracked easy. Because when you're at home, you see food and you get hungry. So tend to eat that stuff. And it's, if you go to an actual shop and you might like have a refrigerator there, you might not, but you tend to look at the time and say, hey, I'm there these many hours, I got to get this amount of work done. Where when you're at home, you look at it and say, hey, I've got 18 hours before I got to go to bed, or in Rye's case, I got to go to bed when the street lights come on. So, but that's just one of the other things, that if you go to an actual business, some people are more productive, some aren't. Some are just as lazy. I mean, it just varies. But yeah, yeah, G6. It takes him a little while to reply because he's driving. So I think we're getting in like 3 jokes to his one. So, and then I'm not good at reading. It takes him a little while because he's just listening to me. So he's just hearing me ramble on of things, not saying what people are saying. It takes him a little while because he's just listening to me. So he's just hearing me ramble on of things, not saying what people are saying. Let's start over. Okay. Round 2. Round dos for Juan. Ding, ding, ding. So did you drop them shirts off, Ron? Is that what you're doing? The uh, that tree stuff for the hotel? Well, you guys are short about 4.9 Hey, Matt, I wouldn't give them the half, Matt. That's just me. But you can give them that 4.9. I mean, a lot of it's that sole of the shoe. He's got them platform shoes, so that platform adds a little bit of ump to the height. Hey, another thing too, Matt, Matt Grinder, when you hop off your message me on Facebook, I got a question for you about your order, actually. Hey, the other good thing too, Matt, if you put them on top of each other's shoulders or add their height up, they can actually ride a roller coaster. Because separately they can't. They might be able to ride the one in the kiddie land, but Juan said he's 5 foot flat or 5 flat. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being short. That 5'10", I think you added an extra zero there, Rod. I don't think that zero is supposed to be there. Must be hard missing them light switches. You know, the worst thing for them, Matt, is when they're sitting in the toilet, their legs go numb because they're hanging them so long, sitting on that toilet because their feet can't touch the ground. So, hey, BM Pam, how's it going? The only good thing, though, is they can use them little kitty potty stools and all that, the ones that sit really low. Oh, boy, this one's from Rye. And one from Juan. There's Rye working on micros. That's the best. That takes the cake, Rye. Even better, Matt, that stick works for him. But he's got the clappers. He just claps on, claps off the clapper. They don't even got to worry about the lights anymore. He's got that brand new high deck or high class house that he's got. So hey, Robert Young, just got your message, Robert, on the video because I can't see the bottom part. Another way, if you're having problems getting that hold down screw off, is if you've got a pipe wrench, you can put that pipe wrench on there and just give it a quick tap, and it should break loose. The other thing I would do is probably use like PB Blaster and try to spray underneath it. That should break it loose. I mean, mine was hand tight, and I just use these big guns here and kind of cinched it tight, but usually you can break them loose fairly easy to get them done that way. So, hey, B and Pam, you see that you got that press or something? Have you done anything yet? Yeah, I know, right? You can't use the clapper for the toilet, but they even got that attachment, that little bidet that you got the push button beside you. So when you're up there, you just push that button. So it's not even reaching up above you either now. So were the instructions good with that press, Pam, or did Rye lose the instructions with it, make it really hard to assemble it? On that ride, depends on quantity. What I charge for one color on the next level, but um, it's one color, one location. Um, that shirt to me, I mean, usually depending what next level you go with, but that one's normally about 50 cents more. So if it's a repeat customer, I'm going to give them a deal. So I'm just going to be in the $6 to $7 range, depending on. But like I said, it depends on how many shirts, how the customer is. Um, I do a lot of deals with a lot of the places we deal with because we do repeat customers over and over and over. Like the muscle shop, we actually use the next level, and so on them I wouldn't say we give him a deal, but we do give him like every time he orders because he buys a bunch, even if he's ordering a few to replenish the order, A lot of times I'll give him the same price as if he bought. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my shoe. I'll give him the same price as if he bought, let's say, 100, even if he bought 20, just because he's a repeat customer and he's been back over and over and over. We've probably printed, I don't know, 5,000, 10,000 shirts for him. He owns a nutrition shop. Juan's actually embroidered the hats for him. So, I mean, he's one of the people. Give you a photo, like, here's what it is. He's one of the people that they order over and over and over. So a lot of the people that are like that, I mean, I tend to give people a better deal if they're repeat customers. And then, like I said, I mean, you know how that goes too, right? Depends on what the market is, but I wish I could get $20 for one print shirt. I mean, I guess I could if it was just one shirt, maybe, but I'm never usually that lucky. And if they wanted it, I would screen print it for $20. I mean, I wouldn't turn it down, but I usually never get people that will do that. So, but if you don't want to print them right, because you don't got that, you can send them my way. I'll gladly do it. Yeah, right. I mean, even to me, I mean, like you just said too, you feel $10 is too much. I personally do too. That's just me, but uh, like Blues in New York. I mean, someone like which even he's got $7 to $9. But I mean, I guess it depends your area. Like if you're in Hollywood or something like that, or New York, maybe the price would be higher because the cost of shops and everything there. I mean, shirts are the same price, but maybe people are willing to pay it more. But I just, my people wouldn't pay that. I wish I could get them to pay me $20 for one color, one location. I mean, I would pretty much let them pick any brand of T-shirt for that. But reason is that I have a hefty goal this year and was thinking about raising my prices a little. Time to get that commercial space. Yeah, I would definitely, Rye, if it's in your budget to get that commercial space. Um, I don't want to say, and if you want to spend your time at the shop and people get offended, but like if you're there, even if you're in a commercial zoned area where you're not walk-in traffic, if you're not like city, um, you're making enough numbers, you will get more people, just like we said before, because of it's an actual storefront building instead of a um, like the home base. There's ways around to get the people to come to you at the home, but it's people feel more comfortable, I guess you'd say, especially if they're picking the items up. Um, that's the other nice thing too, though. If you have that, then you can have them pick it up instead of you dropping them off or shipping it if they want to. Um, the downside with any of that is you always have to calculate the cost of your expenses for the building throughout the month. But the same thing too. I mean, you use an electric at your house, and if you're doing your taxes and all that, you can itemize some of that. If you put like a volt, you can set the voltage things in it and calculate what you're paying. So I mean, there are options you can do to itemize the cost that you're actually paying for the things. Sorry about that. I had to read some. Hey, Lily, glad to see you here, Lily. You missed the onslaught on Rye earlier. It was kind of Rye said it was pretty brutal that everyone picked on him, but if Lily got her stuff before me, Juan, I'm gonna be pretty mad because I've been waiting for my stuff. That's what I said earlier too. Rye is you're still waiting for your stuff from Juan, so hey Lily, Juan did say he was sublimating stuff earlier, so maybe he was working on yours because I know he hasn't set mine or eyes, so yeah, yeah, G6. He probably does sub it out to Antonio down there. That's why he's always got to go to Mexico, Juan does, because he's got to go pick it up at the border. So Juan's like a mule with shirts and printing. He just sends it down there, meets him at the border, and then drives back across. That's what I really thought the other day, Juan. We thought you skipped out on rye and went back to Mexico with the $50 because $50 in pesos is a lot of pesos. They meet at the wall and throw it over. Yeah, I could see him doing that too. Some of the flashes, Pam. I'm not saying don't use that flash because it smells like it's on fire. Some of them, though, if you got lint built up on them coils, if it's been sitting a while, um, and it's going to burn that lint off and have a funky burnt smell. I'm not if you did that and continues, I definitely wouldn't use it. But I mean, if that's the only heat press you got or flash you've got, I might try that for a little while, but definitely unplug it after you're done. Make sure it's sitting in the middle of the floor where it couldn't burn nothing in case you leave the room. But some of them, like I said, now Rise on the other hand probably don't because it's brand new. But a lot of the other ones, people do get lint on them and all that. Or like the one in the shop out the garage I use, that one because it sits a long time and it's like the leaves on the press and everything. That one gets really bad. I mean, it gives off a lot of burnt smells. So yeah, if that cord gets really hot, yeah, I'd probably question it then because if the cord's getting too hot, you're getting too much voltage in it, and it could actually melt the internal parts or melt the plug in the wall. I've had that happen. So yeah, I probably wouldn't do that then. Me and Pam. I mean, didn't Juan send you that? I thought Juan was sending you a flash too. What printer is that behind me? Oh, that one, Rod. That's a Epson 570. It's a 44 inch, or yeah, 44 inch wide sublimation printer. Yes, C-Blog. It's like it's not super cold here, but it's colder than we've had this whole year. So down here for Kentucky, it's a pretty high or a pretty low temp, but I mean I think we're gonna get in the teens. But where other people are at, the teens aren't cold at all. Like me growing up in Michigan, I remember negatives a lot and still going snowboarding. So that smell like that if it's left in storage. Yeah, like Mom was saying, they will have that smell if they're left in storage for a while. Yeah, blue fire's right too. Like it's the gauging on that for the wattage that you're doing. Like he said, you got to be careful with that. Like I mean, I've seen it happen a bunch. And then when it does ignite a fire too, it's an electrical fire, so you can't put it out with water because now you get electrocuted if you're not careful. Um, Sometimes it will blow the breaker, sometimes it don't. I've seen it happen both ways. So just be careful with it being Pam, whatever you do. Oh, that's this year printer, Rye. I think it'd be pretty costly to ship it to you, Rye. I think the shipping weight was almost 1,000 pounds when it was all boxed up the crate. So, and you're out in Cali, so that'd be a little. I think it cost more in shipping than what it was selling for. So they shipped the other one to you also, Juan? They shipped both or just the one? So you think they're going to cancel the Long Beach ride? Or you think they might require like the COVID shot before they let people in? Or yeah, see, I hope it happens. I mean, I adjusted my schedule to go as long as nothing major comes up as it gets close. But I would hate to them to cancel it. And I've already set all my time up to make sure I'm out there. But I guess it is what it is. I mean, yeah, a lot of people wanted Rise 4880, and he gets rid of everything without asking people. I'd kind of be upset if I had to change my schedule or have to figure something else to do. Then again, I still would probably just if it gets close and they don't cancel it within a set time, I'd probably just go out there anyways and just enjoy the time off. Yeah, yeah. Juan's got $50 right burning a hole in his pocket for shipping. So yeah, it could have been payback for the embroidery machine, Lily. What I think I might do also is on the website, the Bananas and Pickles website, I might create a promo code um, for people that buy the stuff from there. And what I might do is have one be like Rye one and one be Juan one, something like that. I'll figure it out. When I do, I'll probably post it, and then we'll see who actually uses the promo code more between what people use, whose code first or more between them two. Yeah, George, I think they would refund it, George, or I hope they would refund it if you signed up for the class and they canceled it. But it's kind of a nice thing when you live that close. Like when they had the one in Nashville, that's kind of the way I looked at it. I just would always show up, and I didn't really have to worry much because it was Nashville's 45 minutes from me. So you're even closer. So literally, I mean, it wasn't nothing big. If they showed up, they showed up. If they didn't, they didn't. But yeah, BM Pam. I wonder if George does have a guest room at his house. Well, good night, Mike, and good having you on here, Mike. Hopefully things go good, and let me know on some of that new equipment under that cutter you were talking about getting to the other day. Let me know how that goes, if you get it or not. AC Block, did you end up cashing in on any of the GameStop money, or how'd that go for you? I actually bought some and sold some of the GameStop and did pretty good with it the other day. But then I got into that thing where they put the limit on it, wouldn't let me buy no more. And then I don't know if you're watching Dogecoin, C Block. I used to do crypto a lot and then haven't done it much, but Dogecoin's up. It was up to 6 cents or 6.5. It's like 5.9 right now. So I'm up 24% on that already on that return rate. Yeah, G6. I don't think it's gonna I think it will hit on the Dogecoin. I think it's gonna probably hit maybe 10 cents in the next month or so. Um, I got in on it at 3 point something, like low threes. So even as of on some of them, and like I also on my coins, a lot of times I buy at Coinbase because I actually like having the real coin instead of like the stock part of it, so I can actually use it if I wanted. But even on the stocks itself, uh, this one I got in, it's 3.9 on the stock here. So I think it's going to go up. I I think it will stay up better than um, the GameStop. I knew GameStop was going to be a quick sell on that one. You had to react quick. I was lucky on that. Yeah, BM like the crazy thing. There's people like that, especially they took their life savings, but they're millionaires now just because a lot of them invested a huge chunk of money on that GameStop and they got it a good enough price and then they sold it before it bottomed out. Like even now, GameStop $66, and that's still way overpriced. Um, but I mean, if you sold I sold mine at, let me see what the sale was on mine. I think it was like 390 maybe. 372. I sold mine at a share when I sold it the other day. It got higher than that. It was just one of them things I got out at a good price where I felt like I wasn't losing, and I didn't want to get greedy with it because I knew it wouldn't last long. But it's one of them stocks. Like I said, it was that like the AMC. There's ones you had to turn really quick, and then when they put the stop on it too, where you couldn't buy no more, it kind of changed the whole game up. Um, Even like some of the like I do some that are short term stocks, and I do some that are long term. Like my POWW, which is Powell. That's Jesse James stock. It's an ammo stock. Um, Bought it for 602, and it's 717 right now. So I'm up 20%, which isn't like a huge return, but if you average 20%, if you put 5,000 in a year and you average 20% return rate, let me grab my calculator. I used to have the numbers set. Just a big backyard, set up tents. This is a compound interest calculator I use to factor all that stuff. So let me get it back. So if your initial deposit is $5,000 and you contribute $5,000 a year, give me a second to type all this back in because I haven't used it in a while. And so you do that annually for 10 years and you hit a 20%. 20% for 10 years, your total cost out of your pocket is going to be a little bit above 40. Let's see if you can see it. It's not gonna show it with the light on, but you're gonna have $186,711. Your total investment is going to be a little over 50,000. That's just with the compound interest. So if you actually did that for 20 years of your life, put $5,000 in, and you make 20% a year on compound interest, you will be 1.3. You have 1.3 million, so 1.311816, and your total investment, you're looking at. It's not going to show me. You've got less than $100,000. So I mean, 5,000. You got 5,000 times 20 years. So you got 100,000 that you would have invested in 20 years, and now it's 1.3 million. So the average goal is to actually hit 20% increase per year in your stocks or better. And if you're able to do that, you'll be a millionaire in 20 years. And that's only putting $5,000 in every year. So technically, if you do a Roth IRA, you've hit them numbers. Hey, Rooster, good to have you on here. Sorry, I just seen your message, Rooster. Yeah, AMC C Block did the same thing as GameStop. They didn't go nowhere near that limit though, but everyone was buying the AMC also, and you could make a little off it. I think I maybe made $20 on the AMC. AMC was nowhere near as good as the GameStop buy-in though. Yeah, being Pam, like you can lose a lot. But I've always told people I'm not a professional investor. Don't take my word for it. But what I normally do is I have a investor that handles my Roth IRA, and he averages a little above 20% for me. And then all the other stuff is just money that I don't care if I lose or not. So when I do something, I'll just put money in there and in the Robinhood or my Webull app. And I do it because, for one, as you know, if you sign up to Webull, you get a free stock. If you sign up to Robinhood, you get a free stock. And so I did that and got a bunch of friends signed up and got a bunch of free stocks. And then so I use that money. It's kind of free money. And then I put money in. I put a few thousand in. But it's money that I don't care if I lose or not. But so far since I've been doing it, I've been profitable with it. But even when the market crashed, I mean, my numbers are really low because I was in it before COVID. And so it plummeted big time. Hey, Linda, I use Coinbase. It's an online site where you can buy pretty much any kind of coin. I also use Binance. Let me give you a link. Binance, you can get any coin off of it pretty much. And Binance is the one where I would buy a lot of these weird random ones. The funny thing with the Binance, literally what I ended up doing is I was in it when Bitcoin was before it blew up a few years back and all that. But I ended up selling most of my coins after all that stuff and cashed out pretty big on it. And then what I ended up doing was, still got an account with them. You got coins that you can't liquidate at that time, but my account's still open. I looked at it the other day, and there's over $80 in it just because the value of the coins went up that much. Or the money just sitting there. Yeah, Blue Fire. You got to watch out. You got to pay your taxes on any of it. Cryptocurrency, it's a lot harder to track. So people that try to avoid paying, it's easier done on that stuff because you're not really tracking it. But like your stocks and all that, like through Robinhood and all that, they send a thing out. All that's filed. But the other thing too is it's, I guess you can get, it's more, you got to be more cautious on it. You got to make sure you pay your taxes on any of the money. Yeah, BNPM. The thing with some of the places, like some of the places I've worked, like they'll use a Vanguard to manage the money, a Vanguard fund. On the place I work at, my other job, we do have a thing. They use a weird company, and like that company is only averaging like 8%. Um, and I've got mine at high risk with them. It's my work matches on that one, so I use that one. Like I'm going to do the match on it, and even if it doesn't make a lot, it's still my work's matching the money, so it's free money. I look at it that way. But it's there's other things like I've done forex trading where I trade money. Forex like is way above stock market. Stock market's a $1 billion business or industry that happens on $1 billion a day gets moved through there. It's $1 trillion in the forex where you're exchanging foreign exchanges. The difference is on that. You can lose it all within a few seconds. You can make a lot. Um, but it's one of them things that it's like I said, I do it for fun, but I do have my other investments. I do look at it for my retirement and all that. And so far, it's been going so good. The downside, a lot of workplaces, they don't have heavy investors on it. They just got like a general company. And so you're not going to get like a 20% or anything like that. You're going to get maybe like an 8% or something like that, which is still better than the bank. The best bank you're going to find is 3%. Most banks aren't even 3%, they're 1%. So if you're going to invest into something, the best thing is invest in yourself. Um, Literally, like the perfect example where I did that bananas and pickles. We opened it up this year. The money that's made off of that is way more than I would have off of any stock. Um, so let me try to read. It's good hearing from you tonight, Ryan. Hope the hammer falls on Juan also. Oh, on his pinky toe. My bad. On the ticker C block, what do you want to see? What my stocks look like, or what? Yeah, like you said, Rooster, they track it. So you've got to file it every year. You can't get away from not paying the government. Government will get their money. Yeah, G6. Everyone talks about their side hustle money. Do I recommend heat transfers for tumblers? No. The only way I would recommend a heat transfer for a tumbler as if you're going to epoxy over. But another thing you can do, I got a video and I'm supposed to release it this week. I actually covered another method, but I would say put a sticker over it and then epoxy it. I'm going to do a video on that or release a video on it. It's another way, but literally you can, and you don't need like I use a laser printer, but literally you can just buy this is printed wrong, of course. This is turned the wrong way on the paper. But you can buy stickers. And I've also got my big machine to print stickers, but I printed on stuff that people go to the store and buy, like Avery Pack. And so you can print the sticker out and actually wrap it with the sticker. So now you've got a sticker on the tumbler instead of sublimating. Or if you mess up a tumbler, you can actually wrap it that way. And then like this, that one was a repositionable vinyl. So it's not a permanent stay, but it will last. It's just not going to leave residue behind. So what you could do is if you wanted it to stay, you could do it that way. And then epoxy it after, and that would hold perfectly. Yeah, being Pam, a lot of people too, like I got out of some of the stuff. Just recently I got back in just because like it was free, the Robinhood stuff. So I like free things, so it's hard for me to not take a free money when I can get it. But not everyone likes messing with that stuff. So it's, like I said, some people, I mean, it's very frustrating. I mean, seeing your money go way up, right down. You later, Juan. I'll talk to you later, Juan, and get back to working on your stuff. Um. Oh, I meant okay. The sublimation heat time for the tumblers. What I suggest, Blue Fire, is on the tumblers, 375 for 4 minutes. They come out almost perfect every time. The biggest thing is, like I show in the videos, look at the side of the tumbler. When you see it through the shrink wrap, you know the ink is actually transferred and exposed really well. That's the biggest thing you want to look for. Like if you got them in there 4 minutes and you don't see anything, and you've done it before and you see it come through, leave it a few minutes longer. I would stay away from the 400. The big thing I would do too is always check the ovens and the temps on them. I've got a cooking thermometer that's a digital one that's runs inside and the thermometer is outside, because the dials on most of these thermometers are not the correct temperatures. I've took thermocouples and put them in there, and I've had some of these little toaster ovens and all that convection ovens be 30 and 40 degrees off both different ways. So I always suggest probing the inside. You're going to get a better constant reading. Because the other thing too, like the shrink wraps that I use, right, little above 400, they start, any of the wraps will start melting. It doesn't matter what brand it is, or what material. Some materials will melt sooner that aren't really made for shrink wraps, but the normal shrink wraps that me and Juan sell, they'll hold up to 400. But if you start seeing it melting and sticking and all that, your oven's hotter than what the indicator should be. It's way above 400. So I normally keep mine at 375. And then, like I said, I use the dial. And then normally when you open and close the door on a toaster oven or a convection oven, especially if you're using the convection feature, the ovens are so small, especially if you use a digital thermometer, you'll see that thing drop 100 degrees almost instantly by the time you put it back in, because it's such a small area and the fan is blowing the air out. So remember that when you do that, keep an eye on them. Because if you can leave them in a tad bit longer, and the 375 isn't going to be too bad. But if you go like a high temp, like if you go 400 and you leave them in that extra minute, you can actually burn them. Like Denise has burnt some; she'll tell you about it. So you're better off lower temp and just watching it a little bit closer than the high temp, because high temp you don't get much leeway with it. invested in the locked them in and got my stock at 0.67. Each bought 10 shares, and right now it's Rooster. That's the thing is like the big thing is buy low, sell high. There's some stocks do good, other ones don't. Like the cannabis stocks, G6. I have never had any good luck with them because the market's flooded with them, and it seems like every time you find a good one, they bottom out fairly quick. Some people do have better luck with them. I tend to stay away from them kind of stocks, just because the return on investment isn't that great that I've been able to get. I mean, you can flip some really quick. Here's another one, guys. It's pretty high right now, but I've already made 52% off this stock. It's XP. It trades under XPI. That's what it did today. Well, here's the 3 month. If you see that percentage in 3 months, it's done 128%. 182. Sorry, I'm reading it backwards and backwards on my screen. So did 128%. Look at my thing. I got 1.98 shares of it. I pay 89 a share, and the market value right now is 270. So I'm up 52% with that stock. That's all time. That was another one I got in when it was fairly cheap, and that company's still going up. What it is I have a friend in Michigan that does real estate. He owns his own real estate company and group. And he's one of the top sellers in the state of Michigan. What he did is ended up shutting down his company and uses this company. It's a big conglomerate, so it's kind of like if you went with Century 21. But what it is everything's online. So he no longer handles his own brokerage, but they have other people there so that the seller can just sell a house, and they've got other people that they can run it under and run the numbers through. So it's made for more modern technology. Like nowadays, where people look online for houses and all that, people want it done quicker and all that. And so it's a newer technology thing, but it's done really well and it will continue to grow. But that's one that I think will do really good for you guys. Like I said, the POO or POWW, the ammo one. Like I said, this is of course over the weekend. Doesn't look that hot, but if you look 1 month, it's up 80% in 1 month. So it's done good. 3 months, it's 218% up. So that's another one. I mean, they make ammo. They also own Jesse James, the gun manufacturer. They own him. They're his company, and they produce ammo. And they own other companies besides his. But it's a decent one. It's gonna fluctuate. Ammo is so scarce right now that it's hard to get it. So there's a premium on that stuff. Yeah, Rooster, that's the thing. A lot of that stuff only they're not bad if you get lucky with them, but some of them I try to get out when I know they're gonna hit the top on some of these things because like I said, some of them it's kind of like the GameStop. I knew that wasn't gonna last. I know people were saying, hey, it's gonna hit 500 or it's gonna hit 1,000. I wasn't greedy. The biggest thing that gets people, they become greedy. I knew when I was making 100 plus per share to dump it and be content with my profits because I knew it wouldn't last. I knew people would get out of it and move into other stuff. I knew what they were doing. They're just getting the hedge fund people back, and they did what they did, so it worked great. So I always kind of go at it that way when I'm looking at my stocks, looking at what to do, and I kind of try to leverage it to my advantage. Of some stocks are long term, some stocks are short term. The other thing that I'm big on is I use the Robinhood, as you guys know, and I've got loads and loads of stocks. This is my 1 year. So in 1 year, that's what I've done. 72%. The all time is I've been a member since 2017, so 4 years, and so I'm still averaging 70-something% 4 years. But the other one that I do like a lot is like the Weeble. Weeble is hard to read. Like their page is not set up as nice. But like here's the Weeble thing. So on the Weeble, it's not gonna because the light. I'm trying to do it this way. But the Weeble app, the thing I like that is on the difference is on the free stocks. You do get the free stocks. Yeah, G6. I'll go over some dividend ones in a minute, but the nice thing with the Weeble, when you sign up to get any of the kickbacks, you gotta have a $100 put in there. So like it's not like Robinhood where someone signs up, you get the free stocks for nothing. And then when you get someone to sign up, you get that $100 also, or I mean the other stocks, but like they give you a lot more. And my total on this table, let me log into the account. Here's my thing. I put $100 just in the Weeble to get the thing, and it's hard to see. There we go. I'm at 169.71. And the thing is that 69.71 was all free stocks, because I signed up and then I put the money in and got the 4 free stocks. This one I didn't get no kickback or stocks from other people, but and then I invested, of course. As of right now, on here, you can't buy partial shares, or I can't. But I did it just for the free stocks, and it's another platform. It's like Robinhood, it's free. But like I've got I'm big on ARK, and ARK's up 24% since I've had it on here. But my Ford's up. Ford pays dividends. Dividend stocks. Let me go back to my Robinhood, guys. Some good high yielding dividends that I use. Like I've got. Let's see what their payout right now is. Okay, I got for instance, the company's called Good, Good. This is my dividends right here. So December and January, they pay monthly. So I get a quarter per month per share. And then their cost of their stock is 18 something. So it's very high dividend. The dividend yield's 8.1%, which is really good. They've been paying every time. The stock itself, when you look at a yearly, they're down over the year because COVID. But if you look at the past 3 months, they're 8%. It's not a high growth stock, so you're not going to get 20% off this stock. But the dividends over time is really good with that. The S&P 500 high dividend yields is another one, and I got the Vanguard high dividend yields also. It's 4.7% on the S&P 500 dividend high yield, and so it's SPHD. It's done pretty good. It's my last dividend I got was 45 cents per share on that one. And then O is another good company, which it's Realty Investors is what that one is. And what it is, they pretty much, it's a mass thing. They buy housing projects, they buy malls, and it's a big group thing. 47% dividend yield on them. And they pay January, February, so they're another monthly dividend yield. It's another one that's I've kind of liked and done really good on. Like I said, their profits are not. It's not a company that's going to soar up to right now. It's 61. My average cost when I bought them was 64. So down a little bit, but it has gone up. It's on a low time right now, but it's one of them stocks that runs straight. So here's their 5-year. You can see the 5-year, and the big dip is where COVID hit. They have a nice increase, but they're not They had a 10% increase over 5 years. So it's not a big stock that's going to climb, but you're going to make the money off the dividends with it. So I've got some good dividend stocks, and then I've got other stocks that are good investments, but not high yield on the dividends. Vanguard's dividends does really good. Another company that I made money off when I bought it when the big drop was Volkswagen. I doubled, spent 96% on my Volkswagen. It's done really good, but as of right now, I wouldn't probably. It's not going to climb much higher per year. Like I made the big part off the drop. Let me check. Ladder Capital was another one that was good, high dividend yield. It's see the dividends there. It's 40 cents every time on the dividends yield, and these dividends are Gladstone. I got Gladstone too. C Block. Ladder Capital. Like I said, that one is trading at around $10 a share, so it's not an expensive one to buy, and the dividends is 40 cents. So these are they're paying quarterly, so 40 times 4, you got $1.60. So it's not bad, $1.60 per year, which I mean you're not going to get rich off, but the stock's only $10. So 10 years, less than 10 years, five years that literally you would have made your money back completely on that stock. Yeah, but where you were saying Gladstone, C Block, I've got Gladstone. Gladstone's dividends is 7.3. But yeah, I've got Gladstone. I've had that also in my portfolio. I've got when I first started my investing, I did a lot of the Gladstone pays 21 cents. You can see the times, February, December. They pay quarter or monthly. That's the thing too to look at. Some of them are quarterly, some of them are monthly payouts. And what I always do is I take my dividends and just reinvest it on all my stuff. But the big thing is I started out doing dividends and then I started getting into some other ones because, like for instance, Tesla doesn't have a dividends, but it's been steamrolling the market. So on some of the things, you want the stuff that's going to uh, be climbing really good to get your percentages up. Yeah, C Block, I've got some Dogecoin. I've got some in the Coinbase, and I've got some on here. Here's the thing, guys. You see, these are my dividends that I'm still waiting for. These are my February dividends. Let me see if I can fit them all on the page. So these are the dividends that I will be getting just this month alone. See them all? Like I'm not going to get rich off just the dividends, but if you have enough dividends, enough stock, I mean, this account I've got less than 6,000 in them, so you're not going to get $100 a month in dividends. But my dividends on this is 40 cents, 6 cents, 52 cents, 47 cents, 5 cents, 41 cents, 12 cents, and 24 cents. And that's the money that's still got to come in. I've already had a bunch of the dividends earlier this month. Like the other ones that came in, it was a 52 cent, 25 cent, and a 21 cent. That's already came in. So yeah, dividends does good if you can get some good ones. Like I keep dividend my portfolio, and I have just normal stocks. I try to diversify so that if something doesn't do good, the other ones will. I try to look at both. I've got stuff where it's just that I've worked with some of them fields or industries, and so I buy into that stuff just because I know what they do and what they make. Well, like the GoPro, let me pull it up. I used to think, like, especially when GoPro had the big drop, I still got it on my watch list. But my big thing is when I look at stocks is I try to look at long term. They have a big upswing the last year. This last year, they're up 127%. So amazing growth in this last year. The 5 year, I hope it continues to climb, but even before COVID hit, when you look at the 5 year, you really can't see where COVID hit on their 5 year. And the reason is they were always kind of going down. That's the things that I worry about that. So I always kind of look at what they've been performing throughout the time. Nice thing with Robinhood too, they got all these analysis. It's not always true, like when to buy, when to sell. But